Today we went to Cueva de los Verdes, which essentially stands for Verdes Family Caves. It was the family that originally developed it for tourists in the 1960s. So quite a long queue to get into the car park, quite a long queue to get into the caves themselves. But you got glimpses of these caves, as well as some stunning panoramic views of Lanzarote and some fantastic scenery. So the weather was great, we had no problem waiting in the queue. The tours allow for 50 people at a time. They build up down there and then go off and do the tour, while the next lot are basically paying for their tickets and going through the queue. Basically €10 per adult, €5 per child. Remember, this is 2023, prices may go up. So we paid, waited with the other participants of our tour, had a quick look at our tickets, took in the view, and then we eventually started heading down for our tour. Now, these caves were formed 3,000 years ago by lava flows erupting from the nearby volcano Monte Corona. This is a 1 kilometre stretch of the caves that we walk through. Now, I must point out at this point, although this path looks very, very flat and very, very easy and accessible, there are a lot of steps, a lot of areas where you've got to duck. Here's Sangria, she was just checking our tickets before we made our way down. But I would say if you've got any difficulty in walking or bending or crouching, then it probably isn't the trip for you, because it does get difficult at times. There's atmospheric music in there, which makes everything sound very dramatic. And it was something that was completely different to anything else that we've seen on Lanzarote before. Sangria gave us a bit of a briefing. She was speaking in English and Spanish and gave various talks throughout the tour, all very informative. So, as I was saying, the stretch that we're going on today is about a kilometre, just over a kilometre, but the caves do extend about 6 to 7 kilometres, and there's also another passage that goes 1.5 kilometres below the sea, where the lava made its way to the ocean and poured out there. So you can see we're already going down quite a narrow passageway and down some steps straight away, and visibility wasn't great. My phone is pretty good at picking up light, so it probably looks brighter on the video than what it actually does in real life. So you've got to be careful making your way down, crouching under these steps. But what you get when you come out is this fantastic wide open lava tube with all sorts of colours, and you can just imagine how dramatic it must have been with the lava pouring through these holes, creating it, and steam forging these lava tubes. And again, we got so much information from Sangria as she told us about every aspect of the caves as we went through them. So, as I was saying, the caves were developed for tourists in the 1960s, and that included pathways, steps, and illuminated lights. But everything else remains the same. What you're seeing here is the remains of the very last lava river before it all turned to stone. It's fascinating to be in there and to know how crazy it must have been 3,000 years ago. When you look above, you can see sort of different pockets and bubbles and levels and layers, and there's also some quite deep holes that drop. So you have to be very careful at times. In earlier centuries, Lanzarote inhabitants hid in these caves to avoid pirates and slave raiders. It's also believed that they would hide possessions of value in the cave, so that if smugglers came to the island, their goods would be protected. Parts of the tunnels, as we can see now, really opened up and were quite tall. Other parts really narrowed again, and we had to really bend down to squeeze our way through. But looking at some of the detail of where the lava's set and turned to stone really was mind-blowing, really. Some of the smaller children were a little bit scared. They've not been in potentially a confined space like this before, so please do reassure any children you have. It is very, very different to anything they may have experienced before. It looks like another planet, to be honest with you. And as we continued through the caves, it got more and more fascinating, more and more colours, more and more detail in the lava. The lighting was really effective. And then we saw a random table and chairs, and we thought, what is coming up down here? And to our surprise, in the middle of this cave area was a concert hall. There's about 500 seats, and we found out from Sangria, who gave us a bit of a talk there, that there's various shows that take place here during the year, as the acoustics are absolutely perfect for live music. So you can actually book a ticket to come and see a show in the middle of a cave. 500 seats, but yeah, regular events. We were absolutely gobsmacked. So we carried on the tour. This time we took some steps up to a taller level. As I said, there's various layers, and we were shown a bit of a surprise. Now, I can't tell you what that surprise is, and I must stress, this video I'm trying to give you as much detail as possible, but go and see it. It's good value. You won't see anything like it. It's not very often you can get inside a lava tube from a volcano, so this is a perfect opportunity. But they showed us a really, really good surprise and something that we were not expecting right in the middle. So if you get a chance to get down there, do check it out. And then, after about an hour, so it's 50 minutes to about an hour, we saw the daylight and made our way up the ramp to get back outside. And it was on this very steep climb up to the light that we realised how far down we travelled. The trip was breathtaking, the scenery was unbelievable, and it was a fantastic day out for all of the family. Well recommended.